Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Welcome to the next installment of the show. Oh, what's happened? Oh my God, Linda G was here and
we had her. I saw her.
She might have pressed. I think she might have pressed a funny button. Bless her. Let's see when she comes back in. But I was just about to introduce two-hander. Look, Lena. So you're going to be to this side of me today. So at the moment, of course, we have intrepid Lena, Dr. Lena, joining us here, 9 a.m. Australia time, folks, on the Sunday.
It's rugged. It's rugged.
You know, it's commitment. So while we're waiting for Linda to come back, here we are. 1 second, let's get her back on. What happened, Linda? Did you hit a funny button or something?
Yes, that's totally my fault.
Hoagie, we have to move it round again, or we'll never cope. We're so used to the routine.
So I need to move Lena down under like that. And there we go. There we are. Order is restored. So before that little moment there. So of course we have here pointing to the correct side. We have Linda G joining us again. Thank you so much
Thank you guys for having me.
A pleasure. And since we last saw you, Linda, I understand that you have a new appliance at home.
I'm so excited, guys. It just came. I mean, right before I was supposed to be on the show. The truck, I was sitting at my window watching out the window every time a truck went by. Finally, my washer came, and I just, you can't live, once you have a washer, you can't live without it.
No.
Indeed. So, and of course, it's, well, Linda didn't want to say, but, you know, she's got some nice, delicate, rather bits that she's looking for. Wonderful little numbers, and she's like, no, I don't have. What was the place that you said?
I said I get my JCPenney double wides. That's why I have to have a sturdy washer that can take on all that weight.
Yeah.
Because those are big ones, you know what I'm saying? When I was a nurse, if I had a gentleman calling, I would put a size 3 bikini or 4 bikini in the bathroom, hang it over the thing.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of the 3 pegs.
And then he'd come out and wave them saying, hey, where's your sister?
Oh, bless. And Lena, I see that you're drinking from a rather attractive mug.
Very
gorgeous. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that mug?
Isn't it fantastic? So one of the Maori girls I know she does design. That's a Maori design, and she's marrying an Aboriginal man. So they're doing these dual designs for their families. Isn't it great?
That's great.
Give you another look. That's the Aboriginal colors, the skin, the sun, and the red blood. And that's a sacred bird, the ruru, on the Maori side. Isn't it fabulous?
That's great.
It's gorgeous. And actually, you've just reminded me of something. Now, guys, you've probably heard me say this a lot ad nauseum of late. But look, it came. My
It looks gorgeous too.
Thank you. And you know what I did? The first thing I got, I went like this.
Don't you just love the smell? I love the smell. I love the smell of a book.
So there was a famous Australian model, Elle Macpherson, in the 90s, I guess it was, The Body.
Yeah, The Body.
And she said in an interview, I only read books I write myself. You know?
So she don't have much to read then.
Well, exactly. She wasn't a big reader.
So Hogarth, is it Mr. Hogarth Neville Brown?
Well, actually, that is actually my full name, because that's what they put on the inside of the book. But yes, author name Hogarth Brown. What do you have a copy there in front of you or something? What's that?
No, I'm ordering it right now.
Oh,
And
I
I
like
ordered mine.
hardcover. I like hardcover.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. I love the way
Yeah.
and the text and everything and the illustrations. It all came out great. Thank you.
I just got my order in. I got hardcover.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
bless.
And if anyone wants to know where to get it, it is in the video description below. There's a link there. Thank you, Linda. That is very sweet. Amazing.
Yeah.
So shall we begin the show? Yeah.
Let's dive in.
All right. Strap
We
yourselves
kind
in,
of go
folks.
fast,
You know,
so it's interesting how fast.
Yeah.
it's going to go
Whoa.
lightning quick. Grease lightning. So thank you to everyone who's joining us. Oh, my goodness. Look, we're up to
And by the way,
1,700
does
already.
anybody know how Lady G is doing? Is she gotten better? Or
I think
she's improving.
she's improving, but I think it's still a bit touch and go because you know, as you know, in the States, you know, you have a major operation, and the second that you can drink water and count to 3, that's it, you're out the bed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Well,
I hope
I'll
she's.
do prayers for her. I'll do prayers next week, and I'll add her in it.
Thank you. I'm sure she'll really appreciate that. All right. So as usual, as you guys folks know, with the show, we kind of go around a little bit. So to give you a little overview of what we've going to be looking at. So Israel Gaza ceasefire, Netanyahu Congress visit, potentially US infrastructure, Mike Flynn with a bit of Shakespeare's opinion. Let's see. WHO. Mike Johnson, and if we can squeeze it in, Christy Noam, although we've done a little bit of her already. So let's begin. So this is coming from Nick Minks, yeah? And she says, Israel-Gaza war, ceasefire talks intensify in Cairo. Any chance these latest talks will bring a breakthrough? Good question.
All right. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. See. Wait, let me grab my other cards. Hold on.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Let me grab my One World Tarot.
Oh.
I just pulled them out the other day, and I've been practicing with these so I can get the feel of them.
Yeah, cool. I've got mine too.
Well,
So we'll have a double hit of One World today.
Well, actually, 1 minute. One minute. Wait a minute. And where are they? There we are.
What flowers were you talking about, Lena, when you wrote me? These back here?
Yeah, I couldn't see it. It was a thumbnail. It looked like a hibiscus or one of those. I'll take a screenshot and send you, but you look gorgeous. You look like a Hawaiian wahine.
Oh. And look at what Hogarth grabbed. He grabbed his One World too.
Yeah.
Let's take on the world.
That's it. Come on, together. All right. Let's see what's going on. Israel's ceasefire. Make sure I've got the cards the right way up.
It's been brokered in Egypt.
Yes, so interesting. Yes, so ceasefire talks intensify in Cairo. Any chance these latest talks will bring a breakthrough? Yeah, very good question. Let's have a look, see. Whoever's ready to go. Lena, you're normally ready to go.
Speed Queen from down under. Yeah. Well, it kicks off with the victory card. So I think the ceasefire itself will go ahead. Of course, it's not the end of anything, really, with this 5 of Swords. It's a pause in the bombing. It's a pause. But underneath the victory, the potential with the Empress here, who's always pregnant. I don't envy the Empress, you know.
She's always knocked up.
Yeah, she's always knocked up. Gives a chance to expand on these talks because that needs to happen. I get the Justice card and the Strength card. So this might be international pressure, more legal pressure. What is legal? And I see this as quite positive actually under the circumstances, which are terrible around, you know. So that's interesting.
Okay.
I got to tell you the hit that I got, that I've been seeing. First of all, I want you to know Hamas does not have the people they kidnapped as many as they said they had. A lot of them ended up dying.
That's what I was
so thinking, they're looking for some exit stage left. I also feel Netanyahu acting like, yeah, and he's going to do something stupid. Mark my words on this. He's already done a couple of stupid things, like hitting Iran. But I see him doing one other thing, and before you know it, in a lightning flash, he's gone. He doesn't necessarily mean he's dead. I just mean like they're exiting. Because look at from your cards what I'm getting right away.
Ooh.
The outcome is the Page of Swords and lightning striking, like boom, bada bing, bada boom. He's going to have to battle to stay where he's at, and they won't let him. So he's definitely, and there's a lot of things we don't know about under the water.
Yes.
A lot of things will be revealed. Like, for instance, he knew this October thing was going to happen. Oh, hi, Mel. Thank you.
Mel, I just saw that. Sorry, we got to click on Mel here. Oh, Mel joined us. Thank you. Mel. Thank you so much for your donation as
Thank you, Mel.
Oh,
and all new MAGA. Thank you, MAGA. Maggie. I said MAGA. Oh, girlfriend, I'm so sorry.
I don't think they're watching us. Oh, so was that your reading, Linda?
That's
or do you still have a little bit
to
add? And that feels right.
So
he's desperate. Netanyahu himself is desperate.
And you know what? Can I say, Hogarth, if you need another sit-in, like if I can't make it, if you're not needing me, if Lady G's still out, ask Mel too. He loves to do this.
Yes, Mel. Yes, Mel. We must have you on HoGaLe's. So I think I've got his email. Mel, you've got my number, remember, but you've got to WhatsApp me because I gave you the number. We didn't have time. So drop me a WhatsApp, Mel, and then I'll get him on. Great point.
Hey, real quick, my baby girl, Nicole, my daughter just gave 52.
Let's pick her up. Oh my God, the chat's going so fast. Oh, look. There she is. Thank you so much. Lovely lady. Gorgeous. Right. So in terms of negotiations and stuff like that, so I've got the Hierophant, of course, that has come up. So of course, this talks about government structures, organizations, traditions, etc. So really, I think this is literally the negotiations. Cairo, of course, is now the center of governance in regard to this situation. Obviously, solemn situation. Hopefully we've got sober heads, trying to kind of make sense of this thing. But we can see here institutions, authority, basically, the Hierophant. But just like Linda, I get the Page of Swords come up as well, but this time for me in the obstacle position in the 5-card spread. So, of course, the pages are all about messaging of all kinds, really. But the Page of Swords, when it's the right way up, it can be like the incisive young journalist breaking a story, or something like that. But sometimes this card can take on a malicious connotation. Sometimes it can be known as the spy in the camp or gossip. So in the sense of, I think these negotiations, they're probably really tricky. And I think things are heating up and there might be a bit of slander going backwards and forwards. If we look here, 5 of Wands in the middle. So I think they're struggling to reach an agreement, people pulling in different directions. As you can see here on Lena's cards, everyone's wearing different tunics. And of course, they're also different ethnicities from different backgrounds. But it's showing as well the diversity of opinion and maybe the struggle to reach a consensus. I hope they do. But it's certainly a bit heated. Yeah, one would imagine it's a bit heated. However, we do have the Ace of Cups here, which can often be a very positive card, positive of emotions, but it could also talk about difficult emotions overflowing as well. Either way, I'm sure there's probably a bit of tension in the room. How could there not be with these cards? But my outcome card is that I get the 7 of Cups. So it's a tricky one. Like with the traditional interpretation, of course, is illusions, delusions, etc., and stuff like that. But it can also mean a lot of choices to make. So I think it is speaking of the negotiations. I'm hoping that they will get there, because how much longer can they go on? What gives me hope is, of course, in the Cups, there is the Dove of Peace. So I am hoping that
it'll eventually come to peace.
Yeah, that peace will eventually come. But I think there's going to be, it might be a few more weeks, because there's still a lot more ins and outs and choices to be made. And
could those Cups even mean failed negotiation, or like every time you think one thing's going to work, it doesn't? Do you see what I'm saying? Like a whole bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I
think they're going to shoot at the barrel a few times to get it right. So I think it might take a little bit longer to go, because we can see there's a little bit of there's some antagonism here. There's some maybe some harsh words going backwards and forwards, and then, as Lena would say, some argy-bargy in the middle. So I think it will get there, but it's not going to be smooth. It's showing that there's still a bit of fighting. So maybe a few more weeks. However, Jupiter has entered sidereal Taurus on the 1st of May, and Taurus is a sign of peace. And we do see the dove. So I'm saying there's hope. So maybe in the next few weeks, they might come to something. How long it will last is another thing, just like Lena said. But anything to add to that, ladies?
Well, I think the problem is that it's just been termed a ceasefire, meaning 6 weeks later, it's being talked about as a 6-week truce. If Israel continues into Rafah, that
what he plans on doing.
Yes, and it could be before 6 weeks. This is huge globally. People will retreat to their positions. But the argument is it's the last stronghold of Hamas. But you can't, I'm sorry to break the news, you cannot kill Hamas because it's an idea, it's a guerrilla army. You cannot actually say we've killed every last Hamas soldier. The guys who did the awful stuff on October 7th, the terrible, terrifying, hideous stuff, they could be in Egypt, Jordan, or Syria. There's no gap. So to attack an entire population cannot be justified going forward.
Right.
Yeah. Just making more enemies for the future, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, and it just perpetuates this never-ending cycle of retribution and revenge, doesn't it? Oh,
I kept hearing in my ear, and take this or leave it, but I heard that Netanyahu would be gone in the twinkling of an eye. And I don't necessarily see be gone, dead gone, like snatched up and taken into some jail. That's what I saw. I know he's begging Biden to help him not be, they want to take him down with somebody. Is it ICM or something like that? Wants to file charges and take him in, and he begged Biden to help him.
Wow. Well, the UN, isn't it? The UN
somebody wants him.
Top court is looking at potentially charging him and others with war crimes. So it's quite serious.
With war crimes. Yeah. Because now there are mass graves.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And reports of some people actually being buried alive. I mean, it's just, some of it is so gruesome, too gruesome to even listen, but there's a lot that's gone on. Wow.
Hogarth Foggy Ozark, she donated, and she wants to congratulate you on your book.
Oh, thank you, Foggy.
Lisa Foster says, "Happy Derby Day from Louisville, Kentucky."
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I've seen it just here now. Thank you, Foggy, so much for your donation. And this here as well, Lisa Foster. Thank you. Thanks so much, guys, for your donations. Okay. Are we ready for the next question, ladies?
Yes, and Mel wanted me to tell you, Lena, you were absolutely right about SCOTUS. I don't remember what that was, but
yeah, it was when all the legal people were saying they have no choice. Of course, they're going to say he's got no immunity, you know, and there was a beautiful judgment in the lower court. And then they went and did it. And
Well,
I
they
said
did
that
say
weasel. I
absolutely
said that
no
weasel.
immunity. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
And
right.
that
You didn't
Jupiter-
trust him. You didn't trust him.
No.
Yeah. Especially with that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. I said they'll do something weird. So they'll do something
And they
weird,
did.
something odd. Yeah, something odd. Wow. All right. So question number 2. So actually, this is quite a neat segue here. So this is coming from Denise Ferguson. So according to an article by The Hill, Speaker Johnson invited Netanyahu over a month ago to address Congress. Yeah, but leader Schumer hadn't approved it until now. With protests happening across the US, it couldn't be a worse time. Will Netanyahu agree to speak, and how will it affect tension in our country? It's my opinion Schumer's late approval was part of the negotiations for Ukraine aid. So if he comes, how will it affect tensions in America? A good question.
Yeah.
How will it affect?
Sorry.
Okay. And there's a message there that Lady G, one of her students from Florida, is helping her each day. He's doing the laundry, buying the groceries, and walking the dogs. Oh, I just love that.
That's so sweet.
Wonderful. That's good news. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. The prayers are being answered. And we have 2,979 of you with us right now. Thank you so much. Mwah! Big love, everyone. Thank you. Live. My sister was telling me the other day, and Lena, you will know this. You've heard of the Hackney Empire, haven't you, Lena?
Oh, what?
Have you? The Hackney Empire. Have you heard
of
it?
No, should I?
Oh, it's a very big popular theatre in Hackney. Anyway, it's.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a new series on Netflix. Yes, I'm back in Hackney. Yes, I'm with you now. Brain delay.
So
yes, I do. What happened to it?
Nothing's happened to it, but my sister was telling me, well, the capacity of the Hackney Empire is 1,275. And when we last had Linda on, we had over 4,000 people in. So she's like, you realize that's like almost 4 times.
The Hackney Empire.
That's your star, Linda. Yes, such is your star power.
Wow.
All right.
Everybody's so cool.
America?
Thank you, Kelly Keith, for your super sticker.
Wow. Oh, wow. Well, do you want me to kick off, Hoagie?
Yes, please. Yeah. All the energy.
Look, it's very difficult. This is a problem for everybody if he comes. Look, there's the conflict card again we were just talking about, and the 5 of Swords. There's still some strategizing, and we won't know what's going on behind the scenes necessarily. We then get Fool's Gold here with this, but I don't think he'll come because there's a possibility if arrest warrants go out, no one's going to come and arrest him in Israel, obviously. But you have to, like Putin, you have to avoid other countries and transit points and stuff that you could be arrested. So, and then a late agreement. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
Thank you, Swami Mommy.
That might be him agreeing not to come, sort of thing.
Oh, there's just no way. There's drama going to happen.
Yeah.
There's drama going to happen. Look, I used the other cards because this one was showing the same thing. So I said, let me try my Morgan Grace. Look at that, you guys. Yeah. No, military action, drama, the King of Swords. Yeah, oh, my God, you guys. Not a good idea. And you know, Schumer said yes, which shocked me.
Yes.
He was mad at Netanyahu.
Yes. And I'm sure still is.
But something will prevent it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swami Mami. Wow. So is that your read, Linda? Yeah, I mean,
That's
those cards, your cards were pretty emphatic, weren't they? Gosh, mine are they're kind of it's a bit more of a mixed message with my cards that I've got here, so they're quite interesting. The first card I get here is the Six of Wands, which would normally be a screaming yes, yeah, but a victory for who? Yeah, in this instance, to have Netanyahu over, because he's not necessarily the most popular guy at the moment. Yeah, so what I would imagine is maybe when the invitation was first made, it was perceived potentially as some kind of a victorious, lap around Congress and blah blah blah, because this would have been a few months ago when but things have changed since. When we look at the obstacle card, it's very interesting because we get the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles, of course, is associated with hard work, etc. Putting in the hours, but it's also turned up technically in the reverse position. But this card is also associated with studentship, studying things, student rebellion, upside down. This is the opposite card. So
they will be out.
Absolutely. So imagine if he comes to try and do a victory lap in Washington. The students are going to be like, I don't think so. When we look at the middle card, this is also another giveaway. Look, we've got the Five of Pentacles being out in the cold, rejected, etc., and stuff like that. I think it would be pretty bad PR to kind of have Netanyahu at this very febrile time in the midst of the student riots, because as we know, I mean, no one's happy at all, but it's it's a bit dangerous for everyone. Here we have the Empress who's shown up. And normally, of course, this would be a really positive card. But as Lena often says, the Empress does have a Jupiterian quality. She does have the habit of expanding things, just like her belly and her skirts. So, if he does come, it could be that it may get out of control. It could actually expand way bigger. It would just blow a lot of things up. And then what we have is the Ten of Pentacles, which of course deals with legacies, etc., stuff like that, the establishment. This is the only card that has, of course, all the generations on the family. You got the granddad, you got the children, and you got the grandchildren. So my instinct is that if he were to come and try and do a victory lap, it's not going to go down well with the students, of course, at all. It's going to lead to someone being ostracized and out in the cold. So there could be a strong political cost. It could expand way more than people think, and it could damage someone's legacy. So I would say no, it's not wise. If he comes, it's going to be, I think, very controversial, and it could kick off, be a real flashpoint.
And more an election year.
Ugh. Yeah, and there's more information coming out about the atrocities that have been done.
Yeah,
like you said, the graves they're finding. There's more stuff.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be a good idea.
This question, which was he was invited by Mike Johnson, a speaker. Did Johnson do it deliberately? Knowing it would cause havoc.
And I also feel Biden holding on to the coins. Like they said you can have money, but I feel Biden saying if you attack so-and-so, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, from this point.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl, the new member. And Sharon Coon, she gave $20. Thank you, Sharon.
You guys are
wonderful.
Aries gave to lovely Lady G.
Sharon, thank you so much.
From Victoria.
Thank you guys so much. That's quite an interesting one, that picture there, wasn't it? And then, Victoria Blue. Thank you guys so much. Wow, great answers, ladies. Food for thought, isn't it? Food for thought.
Yeah.
But I think you're right, though, with the Johnson, because let's not forget he is GOP and he likes the chaos. Remember, they like the chaos. They want to attach that chaos onto Biden however they can.
Yeah, but it's the Democrats will keep him in office, so he better watch his P's and Q's.
This is true. Oh, my gosh, the world today. Okay, are we ready for the next question?
Yes, yes.
All right, now this is an interesting one. This is to do, and I'm only going to say the letters once, and then after this I will refer to it as the Hoover, because you need to be careful. So
that's a vacuum cleaner for Americans.
All right, yeah, but
or cocaine addicts.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Adderall addicts.
You're controversial.
Yeah.
So when I say the Hoover, it means WHO, yeah, the World Health Organization, because there's the algorithm listens in. So this is coming from Sarisaf, and this is an interesting one. I was like, I can't resist this one. So they've asked, will the World Health Organization succeed in its efforts to grab power from its member countries? Member countries had until May to object to changes to the international health regulations, etc. This is true. Those that do not object will automatically cede to the organization their autonomy in health decisions. So what I think we should do is like, let's read on that, because obviously everything's been happening with Duck L'Orange, but just to put into perspective, what are people talking about with the Hoover? So the Hoover are working on a new international treaty where essentially they're going to have influence over the sovereign power of nations. I know it sounds dystopian, but it's true. Everyone will sign up to this by default in May if they do not send a letter of objection to retract themselves. So basically, it's either happening already or is about to happen. And they will decide everything in terms of how future pandemic responses, etc., mandating certain drugs, etc. All of that's going to be pretty much decided by them, not by your country, by them. So that's what the Hoover thing is all about. So maybe we just read the energy on that. Is that likely to happen? People resist. What's the
when
energy
about
on it?
When this might come up? When are they looking at this? This year?
Well,
next year?
It's this year. It's this May. So basically, if you have, as a nation, if you've not rejected the treaty, it will become automatic. So it's quite a big deal. Yeah. And
in the comments, Jen says, can we do a collective healing prayer for Lady G? But you are doing that, aren't you, Linda?
I'm doing that, yeah, on
Tuesday.
On Tuesday, I'm doing all the prayers.
There you go, guys. So we're looking at the Hoover sort of getting a bit out of control and authority. Yeah,
the tentacles, and it's starting to happen this month, really. It's really happening this month. The Hoover.
These are Lena's cards. These are good cards.
Ooh. They work, don't they?
Yeah.
What's going on with the Hoover? The Hoover. What's their intention?
No, they're not going to get away with this. They don't have that sort of power. I think people are going to walk away, not just from this deal, because the Hoover does brilliant work all over the world, but like any organization, once ideology comes into it and people try and control who does what, it's not going to work, and people are going to tell them why from the hill and go, no, that'd be a no. It's a foolish proposition,
Right.
Everything about it's stupid. And basically this is saying stick in your own lane. you know.
I hope so.
Namaste.
Love that interpretation. Linda, what do you have?
Well, the Page of Cups would be what, Lena? This feels like going over smooth waters.
Yes, but because of waters are always mysteries and things being not clear too. So it's messages over the water. You know how water changes things?
Yes, yes.
And that's my vibe today in this context.
Yeah.
And then sitting under the tree of life and making the offerings. But look, it's a no-go.
Yeah.
It's a no-go. People are sitting under the tree of life saying,
yeah,
not really. And then I got the death card, so I guess it's a no-go. They'll have to change what they're doing in a way that is more palpable to others.
Yeah.
Being that the cup was there, I feel it's like, if you go back to the table and work this out better, we'll consider it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. What did I get? I got the 10 of Pentacles. So here we are. This is a big institution trying to what? Boss everyone.
Are they throwing a lot of money at this?
Yeah, you can see. And also as well, I forgot to say as well, if you sign up by default, a nation will have to give, I think it's 2 to 3% of their GDP is compulsory, will go to the HoGaLe's. Okay. So isn't that interesting? Yeah. So here we can see this is big institutions, big organizations, big legacy. So they're seeking to secure their global legacy, quite literally. But look what's turned up in the obstacle position. The Hierophant, which of course talks about governance, government, stuff like that. So maybe it's a bridge too far. I think, you know what it's like with human beings, we tend to look at this stuff very late. And of course, you know, Duck L'Orange, as we know, has been global headlines for so long. Do you know what I mean? And this has kind of gone under the radar a little bit. But I think once people start to scrutinize this bit more, the authorities of nations may not be so willing to kind of give up that much power, I hope. However, the HoGaLe's are still going to keep trying. They're going to do their balancing act. They might be on choppy waters. But it also as well, this card can not only just talk about balancing budgets, it sometimes does have the connotation of manipulation as well. So juggling things, trying to manipulate, have a feel, seeing what fits. However, 7 of Cups returns. I think they're a bit delusional. I think they're overambitious in what it is that they're trying to do. Right. And I think when countries are faced with the choices in front of them, they may not necessarily go the HoGaLe's way. However, if we look here, we've got the 8 of Pentacles makes the return. They're going hammer and tongs to try and keep going with this. So I think it could be that some countries, some have already pulled out. Some might be like, you're going to need to change things. This isn't quite right. Some nations may just try and delay the decision, but the HoGaLe's is still going to try and hammer away and try and get what they want. So I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I hope it's not going to be universal application, because it's crazy.
Well,
like Lena said.
It's unenforceable, you know. So as long as I've been alive, I've heard that world government, you know, whether you think it's a brilliant thing or a terrible thing, the world government, we're a million miles from a global anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Thank you to Majo.
Let's see, to
Majo. Nice
oh my goodness. Oh, look at all these. Oh my goodness. So I've got some more.
Yeah.
So we've got Jean Bar. Thank you.
Mojo.
Been here for a long time. Happy to come across this today. Thank you. And then we also have Artist Lynn Sticker and Lynn McClare. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, everyone. Okay, are we ready for the next question, ladies?
I'm ready.
All right. So this one is Mike Flynn. Gosh, remember him? Yes. So we've got Mike Flynn, and I think we also need to see what the Bard thinks, of course, of a certain Mike Flynn. We've got to see what the Bard said. Let me get my book first. There we go. So
I mean, Linda, would you have ever dreamt you would see a 4-star American general behave like this and still
awful.
be walking
and
around.
then he
Would you
acts
have
like,
dreamt
you
that?
know what, don't stink. He's just sitting there just as, you know, ever since Trump pardoned him. Remember how meek he was when he was being charged? Yes, sir. Yes, I did the crime. And he was all, and the minute Trump got involved, and he was like acting like king for a day.
Just outrageous. Just outrageous. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of milk.
So the latest scoop is what? Where are we going with
So
this?
the question here is, so this has come in from Nick Minks. And is Mike Flynn, really simple, is Mike Flynn about to meet his comeuppance?
Oh,
So we just pull on that and then we see what the
Delicious.
bard has to say.
Oh, he was a 3-star general. Thanks, Michael. Michael's
Thanks,
one of our shared viewers. He keeps me on the
Love
straight
it.
and narrow.
he wants a one Christian nation. He's doing what our forefathers said don't do.
It was bad enough taking everyone back a century. They really want it to be 1523. You know, like it's crazy.
Bonkers, aren't they? Mike Flynn.
Do you know how many people are going to be so upset when Biden wins again? These guys are all making big plans. He's not going to win. I don't know why. I'm more sure of Biden winning again now than I was sure that he won the last time.
Right, fabulous.
Oh yeah, let's hope you're right.
And I don't trust the media because they love to make us afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, and have you noticed
They just
the
go for
agencies are changing now? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're all trying to shift quite a bit, aren't they, in the media? You can
Yeah.
see a bit of infiltration going on. Little mushrooms, shall we say, growing up between the cracks. Mike Flynn.
You guys let me know when I can go.
You go, Linda.
Okay,
Go for it,
well,
Linda.
Let me tell you something. This guy is not out of hot water. He is not out of hot water.
Ooh.
Now, the karmic star for me is what goes around comes around.
Wow.
This can be good news, but this is bad news if you karmically are unjust. Because look at this. He's got to pick up his stuff. He's going to be fighting battles. He's going to be judged, and he's going to have to go to Sing Sing.
Oh.
His life is not going to be comfortable. All of them are going down. I think Intel even told Johnson, because you know Johnson was involved with I think they told him, we got your number, and let me show you what we have on everybody else. On Gates, on Jordan, on MTG, on all of them. All of you guys are going down. However, if you work with us, I just feel like Johnson's a little fearful. I don't know why, but I feel he kind of knows the comeuppance is coming if Trump loses.
And I think he's got a few more brain cells than the other ones. He's no genius, but he seems to have a few brain cells that talk to each other in his head. And I think he can read the writing on the wall a bit, I think, with him.
Well, he gets intel. He got taken behind closed doors. They give him intel, in fact, including on Ukraine. So something happened in those meetings, plus his son was going in the Navy, where he realized if we don't help Ukraine, my son's going to go to war.
Wow. Yeah, could be that. Fascinating. Lena, what do you have?
Yeah. Well, there's some stinky fish news coming.
Oh,
yes, go
for him. Someone behind the scenes is putting the case together, going, have we got enough to get him yet? You know, they want it to be watertight. Right. But things are moving forward with the legal stuff and the King of Swords. I would hope also, because I think we have a shared fantasy, that he'll be recalled back to the army and then what's the word? You know
Can
what I mean?
the King of Swords mean the military too?
Well, that's what I'm thinking here. Ooh. It has a military vibe. Normally it's straightforward legal.
That's why he had to do the battle again. Okay, that makes total sense.
It could. And hello.
So by this time, by September, I always take that as fall for me. So it could even be by fall time or even up next year. I'm wondering if a lot of these guys are holding back. I know Jack Smith wants to get Trump on January 6th before he pulls everybody else in. That's what they're waiting on. And if Biden wins, then it's carte blanche. He can do what he wants.
Fascinating. So interesting. All right. So the cards I've got for Mike Flynn, quite interesting cards here. So straight away, so I'll just do the little bit. The lovers have turned up, so I just have to cover the boobies because you know what it's like. The algorithm, folks, doesn't like
boobies. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you hold up the lovers too long or the 10 of swords or whatever, gets demonetized.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why I have to strategically place the finger here and there.
Well, I'll have to keep a check on making sure I don't come here without my bra on.
Yeah, totally.
Thankfully, well, thankfully, Lena's been more generous with the fruit, so, the bits are covered. So we've got the lovers here, which of course is all about choices, karmic, powerful and important choices. So the choices he makes right now really are going to have a much more of an impact on him and his life. And it's just describing what the energy of his life is like right now. But look at this. We have the 5 of Pentacles that returns, and it is in the obstacle position. So he is actually kind of looking at, if things don't go well, there could be a little bit down the journey of rack and ruin. Do you know what I mean? It's being out in the cold. I think he already is sort of out in the cold, even as the GOP on the Richter scale of weirdness. I think if it were a light spectrum, I would say Mike Flynn is kind of like ultraviolet. Do you know what I mean? He's really kind of like out there.
Even when he worked for Obama, he was doing underhanded things.
Yeah.
He's just underhanded. So to me, that card in my sessions of card reading usually means past lives too. It usually means you brought over from another life, like you have an opportunity to come out of this poverty you've set up, but you decided to keep going.
Choices made previously. Wow. Yeah, that could well be the case. If we look in the middle, we have got the King of Cups. And I don't think this is Mike Johnson, because we know he's not a particularly sensitive or emotional man or particularly compassionate. So this must be Biden. Yeah,
yes, that's my Biden card.
This must be Biden. And I think just like you were saying, Linda, if Biden gets back in, then I think Mike Johnson is going to be, hitting the skids a little bit. Yeah. So here he is here. If we look here, look at this, 4 of Pentacles. So he's going to have to try and keep things close to his chest. He's going to try and hold on to his position, obviously, because they're so craven. He needs to hold on to his position for now and hope. He's probably hoping that Biden doesn't get in. However, look at his outcome card. It's the moon. So if we weren't sure already, along with like MTG, he's totally bonkers. And I must just say, with MTG, I mean, I think it looks like she irons her hair with bleach. Don't you think? I was looking at her the other day, so I was like, it's just like, what is going on? But here we are, we have the howling at the moon. So I think this also shows as well, Mike Johnson, his inner kind of turmoil and conflict. And he is a deeply unusual and I would say quite discombobulated person. He's a general, but we can see, look, the emotions, the mind is not right. Something's not right with the soul. So that's my reading. Shall we see what the Bard thinks?
Yes. Mike Flynn now, not Johnson. Mike Flynn.
Mike Flynn, yes, Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn. Lena, I think it's actually your turn this week. All right. So as for those that may be joining us who've not seen this before, finding a way to say naughty stuff about people without being... The Bard does it. All right. So closing my eyes. So Lena, you tell me where to stop and we'll find what the Bard thinks of Mike Flynn.
Ready, stop.
All right, let's have a look. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to read both pages here. Both pages here. So this is coming from Julius Caesar. He is given to sports. How funny is that? Because he's into sport, isn't it? He's given to sports, to wildness and much company. That's what the first page says. The other page says, "'Tis the strumpet's plague to beguile many and be beguiled by one." Othello. Isn't that interesting?
That's very interesting.
You know, because, you know, like, so Linda, just so you know, even though this is the book of insults, the bard doesn't always come out with a straight up and down cuss. When it's Duck L'Orange, when it's Trump, he just,
Yes.
let's rip. But when it comes to these more slippery characters, he tends to come up with something more subtle, doesn't he, Lena? So I'll just read that again. Julius Caesar, he is given to sports, to wildness and much company. So I think this is all of his backdoor negotiations. And then the next page, "'Tis the strumpet's plague to beguile many and be beguiled by one." So that beguiled by one must be Duck L'Orange, must be Trump.
Yes.
But he himself, Mike Flynn, has beguiled many. Ooh, isn't that interesting? The bard.
Yeah,
What
he
are your
never
thoughts on that,
fails.
ladies? Thoughts on that, ladies?
Hey, how many
Very
people are
interesting.
watching now?
Oh,
many
crikey. Yeah, it is. We've got 3,944 with us right now. Oh, my God, almost 4,000 of you. That's incredible. Wow.
That's so nice.
Okay, how we doing? Oh, look at that. Gosh, the time. Are we
Time is
ready for
flying.
the
I
next
told you, it flies
question?
by.
It's literally going so quick. So the next question here, this is coming from June's Paintbrush. She says here, the US has had several damaging accidents affecting major highways and the port of Baltimore, which of course the big famous story. Are they a malicious or just the universe showing us weaknesses that need to be addressed? Love your show. How about that? Pretty straightforward.
I'll say it again.
So June's Paintbrush, the US has had several damaging accidents affecting major highways and the port of Baltimore. Are they malicious or just the universe showing us weaknesses that need to be addressed?
I didn't pick up malicious at all.
No.
You know, I think
You're
it's
talking
just
about
lack
that
of
bridge in Baltimore? Was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
Baltimore.
Yeah.
But what's happening in America and Australia and everywhere else, after the war, they wanted to employ millions of people. So there was all this building going on and none of this stuff has been looked after since.
Yeah.
It's at the end of its life.
Yeah.
And Biden's trying with the infrastructure bill, but he hasn't seen this time.
I know they're working on the streets here every day.
Yeah, so we can see it as a more of a general question about the infrastructure and stuff like that. What's going on with that? Decreting. Let's see. Infrastructure.
Yeah. Are you ready, Linda?
Yeah, but you go ahead, Lena. You're ready too.
Okay. Conflict. This is, I think, the Republicans fighting Biden on the infrastructure bill, right? People need to be evaluating locally and everywhere, you know, which bridge, which road, which everything is vulnerable, which is probably 95% of them, you know, like, yeah, this needs to be done. I think, again, this is the Dems being damaged when they try and do this. The Emperor, that's normally my Yeti card, but I think in this case it's more big business and other pressures on the government to, when they do anything, to go private, get private thing, and then you get things like construction workers not being able to have a bottle of water when it's 100 degrees. You know, this is bossy male energy that's not good for this process of infrastructure. They better get it together because the boat's rocking, you know, like there's going to be just more and more of these. And sell it. It's jobs. Go out there, really, you know, put it out there. America, this is my Best of America card. Put it out there. Building, 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 and create work.
Interesting. Linda, what do you have?
Well, I got Biden reversed, crossed by the Ten of Swords. So more is going to happen, and they're going to blame him.
Yeah. Every time it happens.
Yes, that's what they do, isn't it?
Justice will be served. I think Biden will win and have enough people behind him that he can start changing SCOTUS and everybody. He's going to really be able to finish what he started. I do see, let's say, God forbid, Trump did win, but he won't. There's going to be so many Democrats in the Congress and the Senate, it's not even funny. It's going to be littered with them. So, unless you're a real red state, but there's the angel of light is mercy is protecting us. So this is the Empress card, which is actually a very good card to have because it means, for me, it means prosperity. It means the United States will become someplace that even 10 years from now we won't recognize because so many good things will be happening. And it'll be quick. Even by next August, we'll be working hard on things. And we will have to fight. We will have to fight. I just see that the Republicans just really are kind of they think that money is theirs. They say the American money. No, you're acting like it's your money.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, yes. And we've just got 4,000 in as well. So thank you everyone for joining us. Oh, okay. So the question. Indeed. Thank you so much, everyone. Look, I think this is literally the infrastructure of America right here. The Nine of Wands,
limping along,
embattled, limping along. You know, I mean, look, America's not the only place. Just like Lena says, you know, so many of the Western countries, you know, need infrastructure. I mean, it's the same with the UK as well. We've got some creaking bits and bobs and stuff like that. But you know, this is why Biden created the bill in the first place. This is why he created the bill in the first place, because literally this is America's infrastructure feeling embattled, you know, trying to get through the storm, but surviving only just, but, you know, trains crashing, spilling chemicals and all the rest of it. If we look here, the obstacle card, ironically, is the Knight of Swords. So this is normally the fastest card in the deck. I always say the Knight of Swords or the Eight of Wands, the fastest cards in the deck. But this is turned up in the obstacle position. And technically we could see it as reversed, which means what? Everything is slowed down, blocks and obstacles, because certain people in the GOP keep charging forward and attacking infrastructure plans because they want to make Biden look bad. So it's almost like this is their negative energy kind of coming in, trying to disrupt things. What are they disrupting? The Queen of Pentacles, which deals with what? Domesticity, things to do with the home or the homeland in this case, because we're talking about infrastructure. So it's almost like the GOP block these kind of measures, and then when the measures actually start to happen, they try and take credit for the work.
They do.
Both ways.
They want it both ways. Block, 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 block. And then when the money comes in, it's like, yes, we did this. And they put the pamphlets through the door and the email
and then
saying,
Biden always makes a remark about that. Oh, really?
Right. So it's like
you voted against it.
Indeed. So we have the struggling infrastructure which has been obstructed at every nook and cranny by, you know, by the GOP. When the work actually starts to happen, they try and take credit for it and say, we're the ones building up your home, when really it came from Biden. And look, then there's the machinations here. We've got the high priestess. We got the high priestess. So what this says is, you know, there is a little bit more political kind of going on with this. We know what the intentions are of the re-infrastructure bill, etc. But I think it's more of this energy here. So this is telling me there's definitely an element of subterfuge and sabotage here. And why do I say that? Because the outcome card is the 7 of Swords, which of course is what? The enemy in the camp. So what this says to me is this is also as well how money has been subtly taken away from infrastructure projects as well. I think from what I understand, there are some states that have been earmarked to, look, you spend this money on infrastructure, and quietly in the night it's been frittered away and spent on other people's things, like buying lecterns, for example, taking your friends to Paris, just like what's her name did. Who's that awful creature?
Sarah.
Huckabee. Yeah. So you see, you have some characters that are literally, even when the money is allocated, some are siphoning it off. But this to me also as well can also speak about profiteering as well. People may be overcharging too. This could be an element as well of the private sector coming in and kind of, you know, gobbling up certain contracts and maybe not delivering the full things, or maybe using substandard materials as well. So I think it's gonna get there, but it's a fight. There's a lot of resistance.
There's a lot of natural phenomenon, especially concerning weather, that's going to cause dams to collapse. That's going to cause a lot. We got trouble coming up, you guys. Natural phenomenon. Of course, they'll blame Biden, but maybe America will wake up. And now I just noticed Wheezy Squeezebox said newly constructed infrastructure in China is falling apart. More than 50 tunnels less than 5 years old have collapsed.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, because if you build it too quickly, if you steal and you don't put in the full budget, then yes, it collapses.
And you know, in China, what they do, if what your construction company did falls apart, they kill you.
Yeah.
They'll shoot you.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that. Ladies, can you believe the time
flew by? I always say that it flies by.
God, we're already over the hour already. So, you know, maybe, I mean, but let's maybe end on a high there, unless you want to squeeze in one more. But I mean, the time has gone in a flash. So I want to say, it's
I have to
flown
go out
down.
and get my new wash machine. It has it's proper.
Indeed. And of course, Lena also as well needs to go and have breakfast and stuff like that.
Yes.
So what I would say is a big thank you to everyone who has joined
and
us.
Thanks, Linda, for coming on.
Oh, it's my pleasure, you guys. I just so enjoy myself. I gotta tell you, and you know, I'm open in May. You just caught me in a good month, so let me know.
Perfect.
Will do, definitely. And with Mel, get in touch, Mel. Either drop me an email or WhatsApp or whatever, and let's see if we can get Mel on. So Mel, if you're free next week, we'll get you on. Linda, it was a pleasure. Lena, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not done so already. We will have Linda, of course, back on in the future. Thank you so much for your contribution. It's been a hoot.
Oh yeah, because next Saturday, Planet of the Apes is coming out. There's no movies out right now, so next Saturday we'll probably go to a movie.
Yes. I just the Heron and the Boy.
See you, Linda.
See you. Bye-bye for now, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us here. And if you would like to, of course, get the book, if you've not done so already, the link is in the description below. Lena, fabulous. I will see you next week. It went so quick, didn't it? But it always does. But like grease lightning. What have I clicked on here? Oh, my gosh, I don't know what I've clicked on. So thanks so much. And we'll see you next week, folks. Bye-bye for now, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Mwah! Bye-bye.